What's up everybody, Shane here, and today we're doing another look here at the Lego roller coaster, and it's backwards. Welcome back. So yes, by the time this video comes out, I should have released a video just kind of talking about this. This is the Lego roller coaster from the 20-teens. I've had my eye on it for years, waited for one to come down to a decent price on eBay, bought it, super happy with it. It's an awesome build, highly recommend picking one of these up. But in the back of the manual, which I have right here, it talks about motorizing it and some different ways you can do that. So you can do just the power functions, and again, it's an older set, so powered up wasn't out yet. You can do power functions, or the new thing that it came out then is the boost, which is powered up, but the motor was called a boost motor. Now the problem with that now in 2024, well now 2025, is that that boost app doesn't exist anymore. So all of the examples that you can get on how to do this don't work. I should say the app does still exist, it just you can't download it for a newer version of Android because it says it's not compatible. The program was killed a few years ago. It's still out there, it's just no longer developed. So what you have the option is using the Powered Up app from Lego, or going a different route and using Pybricks. Now Pybricks is a Python-based code thing that you put on your hub, and you can actually code it instead of using those little tabs that they have. But they do have another cool way of doing it where you can actually use those like very graphical things for those of us like me that cannot write code. I can read it if somebody's already written it and understand it, but writing it myself, that is not something I'm capable to do. So Pybricks is pretty cool. I used it to go ahead and motorize my Lego Holiday Main Street tram to go around my Winter Village, and has some stopping points and starting points using the color sensor. Very cool project, but it was all done using Pybricks. So I dove in last night for probably longer than I should have. It was probably 3 hours honestly, to figure out how in the world the code should work to make this happen. And here's what it does. I go ahead, we turn it on, it boots up, I hit it one more time, and it goes. Now we're gonna watch what happens. This is gonna go all the way up. It is set to run. I have it stopping just after it goes beyond the wheels. When it gets back down to here, the distance sensor will sense that the car has returned, and it will start again and go all over again. But I really wanted to share this because I did quite a bit of searching last night and could not find anyone doing this in the current year. They're just throwing a motor on it, turning the motor on, and letting it run repetitively. And that works, I guess, if that's all you wanted to do. But I want to take this to the next level and make it a little bit smart and use this Move Hub that I picked up on eBay for pretty doggone cheap, because this boost pack set that I got it from is retired years ago, but these packs, these systems are still out there where you get the motor, you get the actual Move Hub, and you get the sensor, plus a bunch of extra Lego that I can just throw in our collection, and then we have this to play with and build other things with. I just need it for these motors. And if you wanted to try to buy some of like the We Do motors, things like that, you could pay up to $100 to be able to get a motor, a sensor, and just a city hub is what they're called, the one that's in the trains. You could do that with this too. But again, it does require you to buy all of that if you want to buy it new. I highly recommend picking up some old sets on eBay if you want to get any of these type of sensors and things. So now let's go to the computer, and I'm going to show you the actual code for this, and hopefully be able to share that somehow so that you'll be able to download it, or you can at least go off of my screen here. So here we are in Pybricks. So you're just going to want to go to pybricks.com. You'll want to sign in. Now this is not free to be able to use the coding. Now if you want to go ahead and do this via code, you can do that, but I like using the blocks. It makes things so much simpler. So specifically for using the Move Hub and what's in the directions for Lego for the roller coaster, we have to set up our setup first. So when you first start a new program, which I think we can go ahead and just hit a new one here. And again, you can either do it the code if you want, but I'm going to use this because that's what I know. And we go ahead and get our two options. So we have our setup and we have our program. So what we have to do in here is we have to specify what our motor is. So we're going to do our setup and we're going to pick out which hub we're using first. Okay, so that's going to be our move hub. Next, we need to do a motor. Okay, so we're just going to go down here, grab motor, pull that in here. You're going to select what port on the device you're using it's on. So for me, the motor is on port C. And I specified the direction because it was going backwards before me when I first started. So I had it going clockwise. And then I'm going to go here, setup again. I'm going to grab my sensor, which I'm using the color and distance sensor. It's a combined thing. And I'm going to go ahead and set that onto port D. All right, now in order to run our program, we got to make sure that it's going to run all the time. So we're going to go here to flow, and we're going to grab our repeat while true. And that's basically it. It's going to keep going as long as everything in here keeps happening. It's going to keep doing it. It's not going to stop after any time. We're going to go ahead. I don't know if this one's necessary, but I did it. We're going to reset the motor angle to 0 because our motor is smart and it does know what angle it last was at. So we're just going to say whatever it's at, it's now at 0. All right, now we need to do our wait here. So we're going to go ahead and do a flow. We're going to grab a wait until true. We're going to grab data, and we're going to grab right to where it says true. We're going to drag that into there. And then we need to grab our sensor information. So we're going to grab our sensor and put that right into number 1. That did not work. So that goes in there. This goes in right there. There we go. Okay, so we have wait until our sensor distance is greater than, and I had to play around with this and I came up with 80. So basically that's how far away the item has to be for the sensor to trigger. Once that gets triggered, it goes down to the next one here and it's going to have our motor run. Again, this is the only code I could figure out to work. There's probably a better way to do it, but this is what works for me. The motor is going to run at 1,000 degrees per second by 13,000 degrees. Again, I could not figure out how to get it to, run for 10 seconds. I couldn't figure that out. So this is what I found out works for me. And then it's going to hold, means it's going to just stop. Oh, and then we're going to go down back here to flow. We're going to grab this breakout, but we're going to change that to continue with next iteration. Basically saying it's going to go back up here to the top and reset it, and it's going to wait for that sensor to detect something. It's going to run the motor for this speed, for this long, wait, and then it's going to go back up to the top and wait for that sensor. And all of that runs pretty quickly. So, and the way that you run this on the actual device is you'll press the power button once to turn it on, press it again to run this program, and then it will be sitting right here waiting for that sensor to get triggered, which you can trigger by your hand or moving the car to it, and then it will start running with no issues. But yeah, if you're curious about Pybricks, anything more in-depth like that, let me know and I can go ahead and do a more in-depth tutorial on getting started with Pybricks, at least to the basics that I know, which is not everything, obviously. But now let's go and finish things up. All right, and that's it. So I will say, if anybody out there is good with Python or with Pybricks and you know that how I could do this code better, more efficiently, make it do other things, please leave some comments down below. I'd love for this to be a collaborative thing because, again, I haven't found any documentation of somebody doing this in 2025, and I do think that there are people out there that may be picking this up and might want to go ahead and motorize it, might have these parts laying around and just don't know how to do it, and this hopefully will help them get through that. I guess I did forget one thing before I go away, how to hook all this up. I just did it off the manual, so it shows you exactly in the back of manual 2, and if you don't have your original manual, just go and download it off of Lego's website, but I hooked it up exactly how it said to do it here. So if you need to know on how to do it, check the manual, go through that, and then you'll know. So I'll put links for all this stuff down below, kind of what it was or what it is in the catalog. And then again, you can hop over onto eBay because everything here is retired. That's the only real way to pick any of this up unless you have it in your stocks. So thank you for tuning in. Happy building. I'll see y'all next time.